Now, whenever South Korea makes a major announcement, the world pays attention. Not because it wants to, but because it has to. Few countries have managed to create as much uncertainty and concern through their military program as North Korea. Now, Pyongyang has once again captured international attention by unveiling what appears to be a significant nuclear fuel facility and announcing plans to dramatically expand its nuclear forces. Well, state media released images showing rows of sophisticated centrifuges, equipments basically associated with uranium enrichment and nuclear fuel production. Those images, they were clearly intended to send a message here. North Korea wants the world to know that its nuclear program, it is not slowing down. In fact, according to their leader, Kim Jong Un, the country's nuclear production capacity, it has more than doubled over the last 5 years. Now, whether every claim is accurate, that remains difficult to verify independently, but the message itself, it is unmistakable. North Korea intends to continue strengthening its strategic capabilities here. For neighboring countries though, these developments, they are deeply concerning. South Korea views North Korea's nuclear expansion as a direct security challenge. Japan remains worried about missiles and maybe regional stability. The US continues monitoring every development closely while working with allies to address the potential threats here. Well, every new facility, every missile test, and every announcement from Pyongyang, that becomes part of a larger strategic calculation. But what makes North Korea particularly difficult to deal with is its unpredictability. At times, it engages in diplomacy, and other times, it escalates tension through military demonstration. And this cycle has repeated itself over the years. One moment there is discussion about negotiations. The next moment there are images of new weapons, new announcement about expanding nuclear capability. Now for Kim Jong Un, nuclear weapons, they are not just military assets, they are also political tools. Basically, they provide leverage, they create deterrence, they attract international attention, and they strengthen the regime's narrative of standing strongest against external pressure. And that is why North Korea continues investing heavily in the nuclear infrastructure despite sanctions and international criticism. Ladies and gentlemen, the new announcement also serves as a reminder that nuclear proliferation, it remains one of the most challenging issues facing the international community. Even as governments focus on conflicts in West Asia, tensions in Europe, rivalries basically in Indo-Pacific, North Korea's nuclear ambition, that continues moving forward. And while missiles and nuclear facilities dominate the headline, modern conflicts are increasingly being fought in another arena as well, and that is technology. Because today computer hardware and networking system, they can be just as strategically important as tanks and warships.